Hey, welcome back. I got you live now.
Cool. So Aragorn.
Yeah, let's start one more time with your ranking
Oh, sure.
and then yeah, we'll start.
Okay, so for this set, we are rating all the cards on a scale of A to F, and we're assuming that they're only going to be played in a limited format since this set is not standard legal. And so the ratings are based upon how would they be in limited, not how would they be in modern or I believe historic, which they would also be legal in. An A is a best card in the format. It's one you should prioritize in the draft, but more importantly, one of the key criteria is we feel like it could win the game. So super bomby usually, and crazy high value if it's an A. A B is also a high value and strong card, and one that you should prioritize whenever possible during the draft. A C, which most cards are C's, is a filler, which is fine but not necessarily amazing. And you might draft it, but it may or may not make the cut as you're whittling your deck down to get to the card count that you want after your draft. D is either generally poor value for what they cost, or they're only good situationally. And then finally, an F is a card that, at least for limited, you should just avoid.
Okay, so starting with multicolored Aragorn, company leader, one white, one green, and one colorless. Legendary creature, human ranger. That is a 3/3. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you chose a creature other than Aragorn, company leader, as your ring bearer, put your choice of a counter from among First Strike, Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink on Aragorn. Whenever you put one or more counters on Aragorn, put one of each of those kinds of counters on up to one other target creature. So right off the freaking bat, I say this is an A minus. Could be an A, but for me, A minus.
For me, it's a B plus. It's a crazy strong card. I just wonder for our A criteria, is this a game winner? I could see that it could turn the tide. I can see that it'd be a big pain in the butt. But when I play this, am I highly likely to win the game because of it?
Oh yes, First Strike plus Death Touch will win you anything.
But I only get to pick one.
Each time, if you chose, so keep choosing someone else as your ring bearer, and
So you're
then
saying it would retain, let's say, sorry to interrupt, but let's say, okay, ring tempts me one time, I choose a creature other than Aragorn, and then I choose First Strike. And then the ring tempts me a second time, I choose something other than Aragorn. You're saying I keep the First Strike and then I could add another one? I don't know that that's what I'm reading.
it doesn't say until end of turn.
I get it. So you think it retains the counters that it already had. So
Yeah,
this becomes more and more of a threat. It's still just a 3/3, but when you put that counter on this, so let's say you had First Strike on it, and then now you put on, say, Death Touch, you get to add that to also another creature.
both of those. Yeah, it says put whenever you put one or more counters.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. I'm going to stick to B plus, but I understand the A minus.
For me, A minus. Yeah,
Yeah. Makes sense, man.
but yeah, first, I a lot of I've seen some people forget that the whole First Strike mechanic, especially when Death Touch is combined with it, because a 3/3 that means you have to have either four creatures blocking it. Um, yeah, it straight up means you have to have four creatures blocking it in order for you to be to get through damage, and it's got to be enough to kill it.
That's a good point. Yeah, because if you got First Strike and Death Touch, you do 1 point of damage and you kill the other thing. What you're saying is, let's say it's just sitting here as a 3/3 First Strike, Death Touch. If three things block it, and the first thing is, say, a 3/4, you're saying it doesn't stop there because it only assigns 1 point of damage to that creature, which kills it. It's still got 2 points of damage to assign, which it can assign 1 point to the second one and 1 point to the next one, so it kills all three.
Correct, because First Strike. Now, if you fight something else that has First Strike, then it's combat damage is assigned at the same time as first strike.
Right.
But yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. First strike and death touch, that is just straight up like game winner right there.
And the fact that this is green white, so this is where these multicoloreds get interesting, right? Let's say that you were sitting here in green black, and now you draw this card, pack 3, pick 1. I would splash white for that, right? Like this starts to make it worth splashing for sure. At least for cards like this. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's really good.
So Aragorn the Uniter, it's 1 blue, 1 white, 1 green, 1 red. It's a legendary creature, human noble, that's a 5/5, and whenever you cast a white spell, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Whenever you cast a blue spell, scry 2. Whenever you cast a red spell, Aragorn the Uniter deals 3 damage to target opponent. Whenever you cast a green spell, target creature gets +4/+4 until it. This one is straight up A for me.
It is an A. That it seems that way, right? I mean, just because it's even just being a 5/5 makes it a pretty dang big threat.
So
the
much
trick will
value.
be coming up with the mana, right? So you probably need something that's making treasure tokens, or you need to be in green as one of your primary colors and go dig for things with some of the cards we saw. But amazing card, yeah, that's an A, which is appropriate for a mythic. It's nice to see a mythic that lives up to it.
Oh yeah. So Arwen, Mortal Queen, which I thought was kind of neat that they added the mortal part there.
Mm-hmm.
It is 1 white, 1 green, 1 colorless. Legendary creature, elf noble. That's a 2/2. Arwen, Mortal Queen, enters the battlefield with an indestructible counter on it. And then, with 1 colorless, we can remove the indestructible counter from Arwen. Another target creature gains indestructible until its turn. Put a 1/1 counter and lifelink counter on that creature, and a 1/1 counter and a lifelink counter on Arwen. Gave it a B+.
You know, it's kind of interesting. What if you never remove the indestructible counter? You leave her as a 2/2, but you make her your ring bearer. And then every time you attack, let's say you've gotten all 4 effects unlocked. So the first effect is your ring bearer is legendary and can't be blocked by creatures with greater power, right? So they can't block it. It doesn't matter. But if it deals damage, each player loses 3 life. Whenever it attacks, draw a card, discard. I don't know. This is interesting. You said B+?
Yep, I gave it a B+.
I think I can go with you on that. From a flavor standpoint, this is definitely like a aw kind of thing, right? Because Arwen gave up her immortality to be with Aragorn, right? That's pretty cool that they made this card.
Yes. So Arwen, I'm totally gonna say the name wrong. Undamiel, maybe. 1 blue, 1 green, legendary creature, elf noble, 2/2, and whenever you scry, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. And then you can also pay 4 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue, scry 2.
It might be pronounced Undomil, something like that.
Probably.
Arwen Undomil.
I gave it a B. But it could be a B+.
2 mana.
Because it's blue-green with a lot of scry.
And you could pay mana to scry 2. Later.
So that's 2 counters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to go B+ on this.
I think it's B+, man. It's awfully good. That's just really strong in that color pairing.
The Belrog, Durin's Bane, 1
Durin's
green.
Bane. Yeah, I love this one.
1 red, 1 black, 5 colorless. Legendary creature, Avatar Demon. That's a 7/5. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each permanent sacrifice this turn. Haste. The Belrog, Durin's Bane can't be blocked except by legendary creatures. And when the Belrog dies, destroy target artifact or a creature an opponent controls. I gave it an A-.
What's the minus? This thing's insane. Like,
The mana cost, that's why. But hey, you had to sacrifice things to make it cheaper. Yeah,
well, if you're in Rakdos, you're in a sack deck anyway, right?
true. But
I'll
that's
go
why I
with.
gave it A minus. That's
I'm
all.
giving it an A, but I get the A minus. Yep, but insane, man.
It
And
is
you know,
insane.
being a Balrog, it ought to be crazy, insane, powerful. So again, good flavor choices there. Well done, Watsy.
All right, Bilbo, retired burglar, 1 red, 1 blue, 1 colorless, legendary creature, halfling rogue. That's a 1/3. When Bilbo, retired burglar, enters or leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. When Bilbo deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. I gave it a B minus.
Yeah, I heard some people talking about making this your ring bearer, um, which makes it unblockable because your ring bearer is legendary and can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. I guess they could block it with something with a 1 power, but eventually they're going to run out of those unless they're just spitting out tokens.
Yep,
You said B minus?
I did B minus, yeah.
Would I prioritize this if I was in red blue? Treasure tokens.
If I was in red blue, I definitely would prioritize.
Okay. I think I'm only C plus for that, but I got your B minus.
Cool. Butterbur, Bree Innkeeper, 1 white, 1 green, 2 colorless, legendary creature, human peasant. That's a 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, if you don't control a food, create a food token. I gave it. Why did I give this a B minus? Because of the food. 4 mana, 3/3, and it's a legendary. Would I prioritize it? I don't know. I think this is a C plus.
4 mana 3/3 ain't bad. Yeah, dude, I feel like it's probably a C plus. I don't know if I would priority pick it. If I'm already in green white, it's doing green white things, which is related to food tokens. There are some possible synergies for humans and things like that too, but I don't know. Yeah, I think that's a C plus for me.
Yeah. It's a Denethor, ruling steward, 1 black, 1 white, 1 colorless, legendary creature, human noble. That's a 2/4. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. I can also pay 2 to sacrifice another creature. Each opponent loses 1 life and you gain. I gave this a B.
A solid card. And imagine it with our little bat buddies, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to be triggering those things all over the place.
Moving on to Doors of Durin, 1 green, 1 red, 3 colorless, legendary artifact. Whenever you attack, scry 2. Then you may reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Until your next turn, it gains trample if you control a dwarf and hexproof if you control an elf. I gave this a B plus.
This is a weird card. It's also expensive. It's 5 mana. But every time you attack, you get a scry 2.
Then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature, it's tapped and attacking as well.
Ooh.
It also gains trample if it's a dwarf or hexproof if it's an elf. So
Well, and in these colors, you got a lot of dwarves and elves.
So maybe I'm gonna dial back the plus and just make it a B, because the elves are, elves are not too shabby, but they're also not super powerful. I mean, with the power.
You're calling this a B, you said?
Yeah, I'm calling this a B.
It's a cool card. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
course, if you get Elron here, Elron, Master of Healing, it's 1 blue, 1 green, 2 colorless, legendary creature, elf noble. That's a 4/4. Whenever you scry, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to X target creatures, where X is the number of the cards looked at while scrying this way. Yeah, this elf scrying stuff is going to be insane.
Sick, yeah.
Whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. I gave this a B+.
Yep. So much synergy. God, that's such a great card. I'm with you on B+. It's almost an A. But yep, very cool card.
Eowyn, I think I'm saying that right. Fearless Knight, it's a 1 white, 1 red, 2 colorless legendary creature human knight. That's a 3/4 with haste. When this enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls with greater power. Legendary creatures you control gain protection from each of that creature's colors until end of turn. So I gave it a B+.
Yeah, because it can take out something big. Yeah, that's a dang cool card, man. Solid B+.
Moving on to Faramir, Prince of Illithin. I'm sorry.
Ithilien?
Ithilien. Yes, there we go.
I think that's how it's said. I'm not positive, but that's how I'm reading it.
Yeah, Ithilien. 1 blue, 1 white, 2 colorless, legendary creature human noble. That's a 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, choose an opponent. At the beginning of that player's next end step, you draw a card if they didn't attack you that turn. Otherwise, create 3 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. I gave this a B+ as well.
And that ability only triggers the next time after you've played this card, not every time, right?
It's at the beginning of our end step, choose an opponent. So at their next end step, we can either draw a card if they did not attack, or we get to create some human soldier creature.
Right, but I mean, it doesn't do this every time. It just does. It does that the one time they're at the end of their next end step, but that's it.
Oh no, it's every time, because when you're at the beginning of your end step, you choose, like if you're playing, commander or whatever, you choose another opponent. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So in this case, I'm just going to always choose my one opponent because I'm not playing more than one person at a time.
Right.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Can this trigger every turn? And
Yes.
so, yeah, yes, it does. Man, that's cool. B+, is that what you said?
Correct.
Me too. Yep, I agree.
Flame of Anor, whatever. 1 red, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Instant, choose 1. If you control a wizard as you cast a spell, you may choose 2 instead. Target player draws 2 cards. Destroy target artifact. Or Flame of Anar deals 5 damage to target creature. I did a B- on this.
Three mana. So let's say you don't control a wizard and you just got a spell that, for example, is 3 mana, deals 5 damage to target creature. That by itself is pretty strong. Or 3 mana, draw 2 cards.
We're taking, yeah.
I don't think it's a B- for me. For me, I think it's just a B.
I can see it being a B because you definitely get some options. So yeah, I can change mine to a B here.
Like I would priority pick it even if I don't have a wizard, and then it becomes a B+ if I do.
Exactly. Yes, definitely a B+ if you got the wizard. All right, so B for me. Friendly Rivalry. 1 green, 1 red, instant target creature you control and up to 1 other target legendary creature you control each deal damage equal to their power to target creature you don't control. Give it a B-. Maybe it's a solid B.
It's solid B for me.
I'll go with a solid B. Yeah.
I mean, I guess well, if I'm in those colors, it's a B. And if I'm even in one of those colors, I might consider splashing. Like if I'm in green, maybe like green white, for example, I might go ahead and splash that in for the red because I've got cards that'll help me with that.
Yep, and even 2 little weenie creatures is still going to be, if they're 2 power each, it's still doing 4 damage, so yeah.
Right, yeah.
Actually, I'm going to change it back to, B minus because it's reliant on a creature and
a
legendary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I was just thinking the same thing. Okay, you're right. B minus.
Frodo Baggins, 1 white, 1 green, legendary creature, halfling scout. That's a 1/3. When Frodo or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, the ring tempts you. As long as Frodo is your ring bearer, it must be blocked if able. So this will override the whole unblockable trait on the ring.
What flavor? Number 1.
Yeah. I gave it. I gave it a B because
I'm with you on B. I think
it's when this or another legendary enters, you get the ring temptation. So I'm good with B here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm with you. I think it's a solid B. Cool flavor again.
Awesome. Galadriel of Lothlorien. 1 blue, 1 green, 1 colorless, legendary creature, elf noble. That's a 3/3. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you chose a creature other than Galadriel as your ring bearer, scry 3. Whenever you scry, you may reveal the top card of your library. If a land card is revealed this way, put it on the battlefield tab. I gave it a B.
An awfully strong B. Because it's got scry, which blue loves. It's got elf, which green loves. It's already a 3/3 for 3. And you get a scry 3. That's a B plus for me.
For me, yeah, well, the whole land.
Hey, I'm not trying to talk you into it.
No, but it's the whole elf blue-green deck.
I mean, if you're in these colors, it's doing all the things those colors want to do.
Yeah, that's a lot of scry potential. I'm gonna leave it as a B for now.
Sure.
Gandalf the Grey. 1 red, 1 blue, 3 colorless, legendary creature, avatar, wizard. 3/4. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen. You may tap or untap target permanent. Gandalf the Grey deals 3 damage to each opponent. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Put Gandalf on top of its owner's library. So, first off, I love that you can keep choosing something that hasn't been chosen and then put them back into your library and then start it all over again.
Kind of an interesting mechanic, isn't it? Right? I mean, having to take it off the battlefield and then pay 5 mana to put it back is a little annoying. But what do you think the rating is on this for you?
I am gonna give it a B.
I think it's also a B. If I didn't have to bounce it, if I could choose one of those things every time, it'd be maybe an A. Right? It's crazy good, but it's fair that they did that. You don't want to make it so overpowered it just blows things up, I guess.
And it gives us that wizard that we're looking for in blue-red, so yeah.
Well, and blue and red have a lot of instants and sorceries, so again, just dead on with what those colors want to do.
Absolutely. Moving on to Gandalf's Sanction. 1 red, 1 blue, 1 colorless sorcery, which the sanction deals X damage to target creature, where X is a number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Excess damage is dealt to that creature controller instead. For me, I gave it a C+.
Um, I feel like for me, it's better than that because again, blue red is heavy on instants and sorceries, so you're going to have quite a few in your deck. And the fact that I could cast this on a 1/1 and have the rest go to face is pretty cool. I wish it was an instant.
That's the
This
only
is a
reason I gave it a C. Yeah.
in those colors for me. I think it's a B minus. You're giving it a C.
Oh, sorry, C plus.
C plus. Yep. Yep. But I mean, if I'm in those colors, I think I would prioritize this.
Yeah, I can see that. Gimli, Mournful Avenger. Let's see. 1 green, 1 red, 1 colorless. Legendary creature, dwarf warrior. That's a 3/2. Gimli, Mournful Avenger has indestructible as long as 2 or more creatures died under your control this turn. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on Gimli. When this ability resolves for the 3rd time this turn, Gimli fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. I gave it a B, but it really forces you to be aggro to make this value. So I don't know. I think you are going to be pretty aggro with green and red, so I go with B on.
I'm still not entirely following how I'd make this work. So, I mean, I get when another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Gimli. When this ability resolves for the 3rd time this turn. So, if I had a bunch of weenie things or whatever, and I just kind of hi-ya and attack with all of them, if at least 3 of them die, and maybe I didn't attack with Gimli. At the end, then Gimli gets the +1s. He just gets a single +1, so he's a 4/3, and then he fights up to 1 target creature.
Yep. So you have to have 3. Sacrifice. What else?
I feel like the last sentence is almost misleading. Like, when's that going to happen? Or when's that going to be useful? Like, maybe, and I'm thinking about red and green. I do have some weenie things, but not a lot. Like, green is mainly big stuff. Red has some small stuff.
Maybe this is a C plus.
Seems like that the middle sentence, whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Gimli. That's probably the most value in the card. So I just kind of chug along, turn by turn, going from a 3/2 to a 4/3 to a 5/4 to a 6/5, right? Get Gimli nice and big. And then I do a hi-ya. I don't know. Like, I don't feel smart enough to get the full value out of this one.
I'm gonna give it a C plus just because of the whole 1/1.
I am too. I'm stuck on C plus right now until somebody shows me the way to get more value out of it.
Okay. Wahir, I guess. The Wind Lord, 1 blue, 1 white, 4 colorless, legendary creature bird noble. That's a 4/4. This spell costs 2 less to cast as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. And it's got flying, vigilance, and other birds you control have vigilance. Where is it? I gave this. Gave it a C plus, but could swing this to a B minus just because of the whole flying 4/4 ish, and it's got vigilance. So yeah, I'll go with a B minus on this.
I think I'm just going to give it a B. There's a fair number of flyers in white and blue, so again, if I'm on color, I'm going to get some extra value. A 4/4 vigilance flying, pretty strong. So I'm just a B on that one.
King of the Oathbreakers, 1 black, 1 white, 2 colorless legendary creature spirit noble that's a 3/3 and flying. Whenever the King of the Oathbreakers or another spirit you control becomes the target of a spell, it phases out. Whenever King of the Oathbreakers or another spirit you control phases in, create a tapped 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. This to me is an A minus. But it could. In fact, I may just change this to a straight up A.
Yeah, because how do you kill it?
Exactly. It has to be. So it has to be like one of those destroy all, or you have to sacrifice it or something. I mean, so
Or you get forced to use it as a blocker or something or whatever, right?
right. So
That's sick. That's out of control, man.
yeah,
Wow.
I'll give this an A.
I'm with you on A. And you just get overwhelmed by a legion of undead spirits. Wow.
Legolas, counter of kills, 1 blue, 1 green, 2 colorless legendary creature elf archer. That's a 2/3 with reach. Whenever you scry, if Legolas counter of kills is tapped, you may untap it. Do this only once each turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Legolas. I got a B minus on this.
I like that it has reach. Yeah, B minus.
Like, I would definitely take it and hope to grow it. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it gets more interesting later. But it's also nice it has reach. Even as a 2/3 reach, it'll kill a lot of the birds in the deck.
All right, moving on to Lotho, Corrupt Sheriff. 1 black, 1 white, legendary creature, halfling rogue. That's a 2/1. And whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, you lose 1 life and create a treasure token. Gave this a C. I don't like this card.
Is it even a C?
But you get a treasure token, but I don't like it.
Would I pay 1 life to get a treasure token? Yeah, it's just a C to me. I'm with you. It's almost a C minus. Like,
But this is black and white, so token deck and token thing. And so I mean,
yeah, you're right.
so maybe I'm being harsh.
I want tokens I can sacrifice to activate black things.
And it's any player, as Lucky has pointed out. So I'm being harsh just because I don't like it. But I don't like the card.
I still don't like it. It's a C for me, but
but it is, as far as value goes, and it does black magic gathering things because you're losing a life, you're creating something. I don't know. To me, I don't know. I'm gonna say C for now. I still don't like the card, but you know what? It might get better.
dude, I'm with you. I don't either. It would have to have more synergies for me. Like if I'm in a deck, well, and if I'm in black, I've got my favorite little bat card. I'm making tokens, which pings the opponent, and when I use the token, it pings the opponent. So making treasure tokens is something I want to do. I don't know. It just seems very dependent on other things I'd have going on to be good. Otherwise, it's just a 2/1 to me that helps me ramp in a deck that maybe I don't care that much about ramp.
I'd have to see this one play out. So,
invariably, this will be one of the first ones that kicks my butt when this thing goes live, right? So I'm throwing down on it, and somebody figures out how to make it great.
and I still won't like the card.
That's also fair.
Mahur, Urakai. Oh, wait. How do we say this? Urakai?
Urukai? Yeah.
Pardon me, I had a cough there.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's Urukai, I believe.
Urukai. So Mahura Urukai captain. I don't know. Whatever. One red, one black. Legendary creature, orc soldier. That's a 2/2 with menace. If one or more 1/1 counters would be put on a army, goblin, or orc you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put on it instead. I give it a B minus. I could take it.
Well, hold on. I mean, because anytime you amass, that's putting a +1/+1 counter, right?
Yep.
So this makes that get an extra one, which
Yep.
is something black is doing a lot.
Red and black. Yeah.
And it's got menace.
Yes.
Man, it's pretty dang good. You're giving it a what? A B?
I gave it a B minus just because it's given value to your army, your goblins, or your orcs. But I feel like I don't want to attack with them, So
No, yeah, probably not, but that's okay for 2 mana.
Mhm.
Well, it depends. It's got menace. If I've got other things that help me buff, maybe. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it a B.
So Mary, Esquire of Rohan, one white, one red, legendary creature, halfling knight. That's a 2/2 with haste. And I like the card here. What they did. It looks like he's riding a pony. So Mary, Esquire of Rohan has first strike as long as it's equipped. Whenever you attack with Mary and a legendary creature, draw a card. I gave it a B minus.
I'm gonna give it a B. I keep remembering red as having a lot of equipment, but I think white has some too.
Yeah, I think it had like a few.
Yeah, so it's doing Boros things. The 2/2 haster by itself, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a B for me. I would priority pick it if I'm in those colors.
So the Mouth of Sauron, which is one black, one blue, three colorless, legendary creature, human advisor, that is a 3/4. When the Mouth of Sauron enters the battlefield, target player mills 3 cards. Then amass orcs X, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in that player's graveyard. I gave this a B minus.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. Good card. Little situational. Blue does a lot of instant sorcery stuff. Black can, but it's not automatic. So, yeah, B minus. I'm with you on that. Good card though.
All right, so Old Man Willow, which is one green, one black, two colorless, legendary creature, tree folk. So here, Old Man Willow's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Whenever Old Man Willow attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or token. When you do, target creature an opponent controls gets -2, -2 actually. So I like this card, and I gave it a solid B.
Sorry, I was responding to Khajiit. Old Man Willow to me is an A. Power and toughness equal the number of lands you control. That's sick. Kratos, you still there?
Oh, yep. Sorry. I was reading Lucky's thing here.
No, I was kind of doing the same for a second there. Yeah, but so you're giving Old Man Willow a B, right?
Yeah, for me, it's a B. Yeah, it gets better the more land you get.
Yeah, it's an A for me.
So yeah,
especially because again, like if I'm in green black, in black I'm making tokens and things. green has a little bit of that, but being able to sack something and I can also get a -2/-2, dude, this could be a game winner to me. Especially if it gets played later in the game. I think it's busted. I think it's an A.
I'll give it a B plus. There we go. I'll change mine because yeah, you're right.
I don't have to convince you. Just expressing my opinion.
No, it's you save your mana, you sacrifice things, maybe kill something with this on top of it. Like if they're blocking with a beefy creature, yeah, I get it. I'll do B plus. Sorry, I was updating my spreadsheet here. Of course, the Windows error happens because I'm not.
No, it's okay. Hey, and by the way, I'm capturing your ratings on my end too. So if it saves you a little time, I'm capturing both of our ratings on my sheet.
Oh no, I appreciate that. I just have it as a backup just in case,
Cool. Okay.
in case we get distracted or whatever. But yeah. Pippin, Guard of the Citadel, 1 blue, 1 white, legendary creature, halfling soldier, 2/2, vigilance, ward 1, and it's got a tap symbol on it. For another target creature you control gains protection from the card type of your choice until turn. I'm from the card type of your choice, and I gave it a B.
Solid B. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's a great card. Love to get it.
How you doing on time? Are you still good, or?
No, we're good. Let's at least get through the multicolored, and then we'll kind of see where we're at.
Yeah, because I think it's like 20 cards after the multicolored, and we're a little more than halfway done. So.
Yeah, we're cranking through the multicolored. We're about 2/3 done.
Yep. Prince Imrahil the Fair, 1 blue, 1 white, legendary creature, human noble. That's a 2/2. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. I gave this a B because blue white does have those draw cards, and I think you're going to get some value off of this.
Dude, I'm right there with you. I mean, already a 2-mana 2/2's perfectly great, but it's doing exactly what those colors want to do. And then white has some of those cards that buff all your tokens. Like it's got that one that gives everything a +1/+0, and this is great. It's a solid B.
Ring Sight, 1 black, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Sorcery, the ring tempts you. Search your library for a card that shares a color with the legendary creature you control. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. I had this at a C, but it's a straight up looter. You know what? I'm gonna go with a B- on that.
Okay, because I was kind of thinking C also. I might be talking to C+, only because you need to have a legendary in play, but I love that I can go grab a specific card that is my busted legendary, right?
With that color. Yeah, so I kind of like it. Yeah.
I like it. Here's just my struggle, and again, I might not be prioritizing some of these things correctly, but for me, I don't know that I would necessarily pick this over other cards, right? So that's why I'm still kind of stuck in the C category on this one, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the whole reveal it kind of thing. So maybe I'm going to make this a C+, but I feel like it could be a solid B-. But you know what? I'll stay with B- for now. I'll stay with it. I don't like the reveal, but because you're basically telling your opponent, "Hey, this is coming up," but hey.
No, but I mean, so if you've got one of those busted cards, right?
Yeah, you can
and
go
this
get
lets
it.
you just go get it. I don't care if they see it, right? They're about to see it. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll keep it at B-. Yeah,
it's good. It's good, man.
All right, Rise of the Witch King. 1 green, 1 black, 2 colorless sorcery. Each player sacrifices a creature. If you sacrifice a creature this way, you may return another permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Why did I do a C plus on this? This is like awesome. Oh, it's because you can't really target what you want them to sacrifice. C plus or B minus? What am I going to do? I'm going to go B minus. It goes straight from the graveyard to the battlefield.
So, yeah, again, the question is, would you priority pick this in a pack? Assuming there's not other busted cards, right? But would you priority pick this over anything else that's a C or a C plus?
Yes.
Okay, then your B minus is dead on.
But it is situational because if I don't have a bomb to bring back, usually that's the whole point of draft is that you want a bomb. So if you're going to be playing,
I mean, it depends on your deck too, right? Like there can be decks when you just go aggro and you draft a bunch of weenie things, and so getting one thing out of the graveyard is not that powerful, right? I mean, so for me it's a C plus, but it could definitely be in that B territory if I draft some really great things and I'm like, ooh, I want to be able to pull these back, right?
My initial rating on this was a C plus, so I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with it.
Okay. Situationally, though, we agree it could move into the B category. If I've already drafted some really strong things, like some of these other busted multicolor cards we're talking about here, then yeah, I want some graveyard recursion in those colors.
All right, so Samwise Gamgee, 1 white, 1 green, legendary creature, halfling, peasant. That's a 2/2, and whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, create a food token. You can also sacrifice 3 food. Return target historic card from your graveyard to your hand. I gave it a B minus.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. The recursion's pretty nice, right? And in those colors, you're going to be making a lot of tokens.
Oh yeah, and any non-token creature enters the battlefield, you get a food token.
Right, but in those colors, you'll be making a lot of food tokens. Sorry, so that bottom effect of sacking 3 foods to return something mega from your graveyard. So I like it. B minus. I'm with you on that.
Saruman of many colors. 1 black, 1 blue, 1 white, and 3 colorless. Legendary creature, avatar, wizard. That's 5/4. Ward, discard an enchantment, instant, or sorcery card. So a little bit tricky on that ward. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, each opponent mills 2 cards. When 1 or more cards are milled this way, exile target enchantment, instant, or sorcery card with equal or lesser mana value than that spell from an opponent's graveyard. Copy the exiled card. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. So I gave this a straight up B, but because we are playing blue white and we have those second spells, and it's man, I might have to go B plus on this.
This one's tricky. Like you gotta work for it.
Yeah.
Right. And you need to your opponent needs to have enchantments, instant sorceries, right? I don't know. Let's see.
Which they will. Yeah.
When you cast your second exile, each opponent mills 2 cards. Each.
Because who doesn't play with removal or something of that nature, right? So,
yeah. Yeah. Well, and making the opponent mill. Could be good. Depends on what kind of deck they're playing, right?
Yeah. For me, this is a B plus.
I think you're right. I don't know if it's a straight up game winner, which is what keeps it in the B category, but it's awfully strong and it's really hard to remove. Actually, it's not that hard because you could discard an instant or something, but still. I like it. B plus.
Sauron, the Dark Lord, 1 red, 1 black, 1 blue, 3 colorless, legendary creature, avatar, Hora, 7/6. Ward, sacrifice a legendary artifact or legendary creature. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, amass Orcs 1. Whenever an army you control deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 4 cards. I gave this an A.
Yeah, it's an A. It's nice to see a mythic that earns the mythic, you know, moniker there. Little tricky with the 3 mana, but I don't think it's as hard probably as I think. Especially like red gives me treasure tokens, for example. Um, I love the flavor. Like they just did this right. This is a great card. It's an A. I'm with you. If you see it, grab it.
Heck yeah. Sauron's Ransom. 1 black, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Instant. Choose an opponent. They look at the top 4 cards of your library and separate them into a face down pile and face up pile. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Bring them to you. I gave it a C plus. There's value in this, right? Because you can see what you're getting. The chances are that whatever you're not getting could be trash, right? So it's like the bird in hand is greater than 2. You know, it's you know what you're getting in 1 pile, and if you don't agree with it, well, you could take a chance on the other one. So I mean, but it doesn't tell you how they're going to separate it. It could be 3 cards face down. It could be 3 cards faced up. Your really good card in the other one. You don't know. So, but either way, you're getting some cards out of it. So I gave it a C.
Yeah. Plus, I'm trying to think. Black has some graveyard recursion, doesn't it?
Yes, if I remember correctly.
I think. Yeah, we covered some. So this is all right. I'm with you. I don't love cards like this. I know some other streamers that are all about it, and they'll mill themselves happily all day. And I've even argued with them about things that voluntarily potentially take great things out of my library and put them in the graveyard. But upside of this one's probably pretty good, but I don't know that I'd go crazy over it. For me, I'm with you. This is probably a C plus. Maybe I'm undervaluing it.
I could be very well undervaluing it, but yeah, I mean it's a gamble, so that's why also I'm just like, Steve, I'm not going to overthink. So shadow summoning, 1 black, 1 white sorcery, create 2 tapped 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. This one I have as a B minus because it's flying. 2 creatures.
And for 2 mana, it's pretty great. Yeah, but I'm good with you on the B minus just because they're 1/1s. But I love it, especially for Orzhov. And again, if my bat buddy's in there, you just ping the opponent for 2 life, right?
Yeah.
Just no, Batman. Just call me Batman for this whole set because I'm just like fixated on that card because there's so much value in it. Yeah,
I think that's going to be my number 1 comment for
100%. It's the rare common to me, right? Like it's the one that's going to sneak in for people.
Yeah, totally. Shadowfax, Lord of Horses, 1 white, 1 red, 3 colorless, legendary creature horse. It's a 4/4. So this is our second horse, right? I think.
Well, I know Bill the horse for sure. I think there's one other, or Bill the pony. Sorry, Bill the pony's a horse. There's at least one other. I can't remember right now. But yeah,
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember either. But hey, horses you control have haste. And whenever Shadowfax Lord of Horses attacks, you may put a creature card with lesser power from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. So, I mean, not too shabby, but I gave it a B minus because 5 mana 4/4 that puts something onto the board. Yeah, I'll take that.
It's not a B minus to me. I think it's just a B for me. I actually did a mock draft last night with another streamer. Which, by the way, if you want to do that, there's sites where we can go do mock drafts on this now. When I say now, I don't mean right this second, but all the cards are loaded in there. And I drafted a couple of these. This is a great card, especially in Boros where I've got equipment. So think about equipping this, which makes it attacking more viable. And imagine if I put like Gimli's Axe on this. So now this is a 7/4. Right. So now I could put something with 6 power or less on the battlefield attacking when this thing goes in. I think in Boros this is very strong.
You might be right. I could be slightly undervaluing it with my B minus. So
Yeah, I wouldn't fixate too much on the fact that it's a horse as much as the other effect. It's great.
and I
Great
love
art
the
too.
rainbow. Yeah.
I love the art, man. I love the horse. It just looks fantastic, right? Really great art.
Shagrat, Loot Bearer, 1 red, 1 black, 2 colorless, legendary creature, Orc Soldier, the 4/4. When Shagrat, Loot Bearer, attacks, attach up to 1 target equipment to it. Then amass Orcs X, where X is the number of equipment attached to Shagrat. So this is your equipment heavy card. Surprisingly, it's in red black, but red does have the equipment. I gave it a C plus because again, I'm not a big fan of equipment, but if I have this card, I will draft some equipment. That's for sure.
Yeah, right now I'm a C plus, although I know once we get into artifacts, there's some equipment that can be pretty game changing. So if you could grab some of those with this, although this is already a rare, right? It's interesting. But a 4/4 for 4 already is pretty good. It's also an orc, which plays in those colors. So, yeah, the amass thing may or may not come into play. So I'm with you. It's probably a C plus.
I mean, in the middle of a draft, if I see this pass to me, I'm not going to just jump on it. But if it's a first pick, I'd pick it and build up around it because I think it'd be a hell of fun.
Yeah, well, and for me, even like in pack 3, it depends on what the rest of my curve is doing too, right? So if I've got a bunch of 1, 2, 3 drops, I'll grab this all day.
True. Shawke, Tyrant of the Shire, 1 black, 1 blue, 2 colorless, legendary creature avatar rogue for a 2/4. Activated abilities of lands your opponents control can't be activated unless they're mana ability. Shawke, Tyrant of the Shire, has all activated abilities of lands your opponents control except mana ability. And mana of any type can be spent to activate Shawke's abilities. I gave this a C.
Yeah, it's a C, although when you get into the lands, if somebody's got the rare lands, they can do some pretty interesting things. They're practically enchantments. So this card gets more interesting, but really situational. So I'm with you. It's probably just a C, and even then, a 2/4. Let's say it's just a 2/4 for 4. It's not that interesting.
Exactly. So I may even rate it lower for the set because the lands do have, like, all of the rare lands have mana abilities on them. So, but we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. It could be rated lower because, yeah. But yeah, from now I have it a C. Like, if I get this and I need a creature, it's filler for right now. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lucky's got it right. I mean, this is kind of, it's not that useful, and I was even replying, especially in best of 1. In best of 3, if I was playing a best of 3 limited match, I would have this in the sideboard for sure, in case the opponent did happen to draft those rare lands. But I'm going to be really interested to see how many people priority pick the rare lands over some of the other stuff they could be grabbing.
Well, there's some good ones, and then some.
No, they're good.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm with you, but they're not all great, right? I
Right.
mean, there's a few that are really good, and the rest I'm kind of like, I don't know.
All right, so yeah, that's why I did C. I didn't rate it lower, didn't rate it higher. All right, moving on. This one, first off, the art looks great.
It is great art. It looks like it's right out of the movie, doesn't it? It's beautiful. Great colors.
And how did we pronounce this earlier?
I think we guessed at Shalobe.
Globe? Okay, yeah, child of Ungaliant?
Ungaliant. Yeah.
Yeah, one.
I like what the viewer said
ahead.
yesterday. Just purposely mispronounce all of them. Just make up names for them. Like Shelly, child of ugly.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
and then we'll get some
And
comments
people
on
can tell us how
YouTube.
we're supposed
That's
to
for
say them.
sure.
Yeah. Right.
The interaction counts, people. But yeah, so one green, one black, four colorless, legendary creature, spider demon. It's an 8/8. Death touch, ward 2. Other spiders you control have death touch and ward 2. Whenever another creature dealt damage this turn by a spider you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a food artifact with yada yada. Everyone knows what food artifacts is. At least I hope.
Yeah.
And they can certainly read it if not. This isn't a podcast. But anyway, I give this particular Shelly a B minus.
So a couple of things. A++ on the flavor again, right? Like the spider turning hobbits into food kind of thing, right? Straight from the movie. This is fantastic for that. So well done, Watsy, on that. Man, to me, just at its surface, just reading the first line, it's a 6 mana 8/8 with Death Touch and Ward 2. That's a solid B for me. I don't know how often I'm going to get the upside. When another creature dealt damage this turn by a spider you control dies, blah, 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 blah. It's going to make food every turn, probably. There aren't that many spiders in the set, so I don't know that the other stuff really matters. So
I like that it's eating the other spiders. The food.
It is?
Well, I mean, think about it. Spiders eat each other, that kind of thing. You know, they
No,
don't.
but it's not doing that. Whenever another creature dealt damage this turn by a spider you control dies, trade a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's food.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm
So
reading it wrong.
But turning their opponents into food.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying it wrong. Yeah.
But so just a 6 mana 8/8 with Death Touch and Ward 2, that's a B for me, man. I don't know if it's really a B plus because there's not that many spiders that I can recall.
There's a few, but not a whole lot. That's why I gave it the whole B minus, because of the upside of other spiders, yada yada yada.
I'm not giving it a minus at all. Again, 6 mana 8/8 with Death Touch Ward 2. Come on, dude. That's a strong card.
I mean, it's a B category.
It's a 6 mana 8/8 Death Touch Ward 2. That's a B. If anything, it ought to be a B plus. Now I am selling you on this. But
okay. I'll change it to a B. There we go.
It's a solid B. It's a great. I would love to play this card.
Oh, I'll play it just because I like the card. But yeah.
Well, yeah. Plus, it's cool. Shelly,
right.
Child of Ugly. Yes.
The Smeagol helpful guide: 1 black, 1 green, 1 colorless legendary creature, halfling horror. That's 4/2. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped under your control, and the rest into their graveyard. This is a solid B for me.
Me too, man. If I'm in these colors, this is so cool. I'm stealing land. That's a neat.
Tossing the rest into the trash.
Yeah.
Good card.
Great card. Yeah, great card. And then what was it? And then we had another card, a few other cards earlier that also interact with the opponent's graveyards, right? So this might be teeing up some fun combos there. But just by itself, solid B.
Strider, Ranger of the North, 1 green, 1 red, 2 colorless, legendary creature, human ranger. That's a 4/4. It's got landfall. Whenever a land enters a battlefield under your control, target creature gets 1 until end of turn. Then, if that creature has power 4 or greater, it gains first strike until end of turn. So, yeah, I gave this a solid B. It could definitely... This enters, target creature gets 1/1. So we can give Strider first strike. I'm going to give this... Man, that's actually really good.
It is really good.
I'm going to stay B on this. Because you can only bring 1 land in per turn, right? So, I mean, yeah, I'm going to stay B on.
So for me, I'm giving it a B plus.
Unless you're
Um,
ramping, but yeah.
I'm giving it a B plus for a couple of reasons. One, if I'm reading it right, a land comes in, I can give Strider five. Strider's now a 5/5 first strike, worst
Right.
case, right? But both red and green have some big boys in them, right? That we saw. And so if I can buff those and then give them first strike, so remember again, like Oliphant, which was what, a 6/4. Now it's a 7/5 with first strike. Dang. Right.
Yeah, yeah. You know what?
Yeah, I mean, in
Mm,
Gruul, this is awesome, man. It's almost an A. It might be, I mean, it's a great card to me.
I'll change it to a B plus. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Theoden, King of Rohan, one white, one red, one colorless. Legendary creature, human noble 2/3. When this card or another human enters a battlefield under your control, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. I gave it a B minus, but it could be a B because red white does have a lot of humans. B minus for now is what I'm giving it.
Yeah, I was just double checking on red because I knew white had a lot of humans. To me, this is another B plus for me in those colors. You gave it a B? Is that what you said?
I gave it a B minus.
B minus. Okay, I think it's a B plus because it's only 3 mana. There's a ton of humans in red and white, and double strike's no joke. And I can, so think about this. So I get something that kicks off a 1/1 human soldier token, activates this. I throw a double strike again back on Oliphant, which is a 6/4. Now it's a 6/4 with double strike. Right? I mean, this is insane. I think it's great.
All right, I give it a B then. Not from B minus to B.
Okay, I talked you into it.
Tom Bombadil. It's one of each color. Legendary creature, God Bard. That's a 4/4. As long as there are 4 or more lore counters among sagas you control, Tom Bombadil has hexproof and indestructible. Whenever the final chapter ability of a saga you control resolves, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a saga card. Put that card into the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random ability triggers only once. It's more of a constructed card.
Yep.
I'm giving this a.
I gave it an F. I don't think it's playable in limited except for meme decks. Like if you were just drafting every saga possible and you had a bunch of fixing, because this is 5 different colors to cast this sucker and it's only a 4/4. It's an F for me. I don't think it's playable in limited. Again, besides one of those streamers we can name who just does weird things. Like I'm going to keep drafting this till I can play this one time on stream just to say I did. Fine, but I wouldn't pick this.
Yeah, I should give it an F, but yeah, I'm just giving it a straight up D just because I'm like, well,
All good. No, it's okay, man. I get it.
Like on that one day. But who knows?
Well, yeah. So if one time out of 20 it works out, that's not playable.
Yeah, it's only situational. Yeah.
No, I mean not even that. If 5 different colors to play this, you know how much build around you got to do.
But think about pulling it off. But I would never first pick it or
But
even
pulling
pick
what
it.
off? So number one, just playing this by itself is an achievement. Okay, coming up with all the treasure tokens and mana dorks and everything else to enable you to even play something that's 5 colors. And then on top of that, you need a buttload of sagas for this to do anything other than just sit there and be a 4/4 that declares themselves a god bard. and sing songs in the meadow, right? I mean, like, what's he doing?
Okay. I'll
Oh, for the
de-rank it.
flavor, I love it because sagas are stories, right? And bards sing songs that are stories. So love the flavor, but dude,
Okay, I go with an F. There we go.
I beat you into submission. Didn't really mean to do that. I'm just passionately arguing my case. That's
You're
all.
fine. All right, Ooglook of the White Hand. One red, one black, two colors. Legendary creature, Orc Soldier. That's a 3/3. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on this. If that creature was a goblin or orc, put two 1/1 counters. Um, I like this a lot.
Great card.
I
Yeah,
gave it a B.
me too. This is a solid B, man. Totally with you on that. It's a good card for Rakdos.